Hello and welcome to the People's Pundit podcast, where the truth hurts. I'm your host, Chris Papa, and I'm going to be giving you an insight into my thinking in terms of football. I am a mad Chelsea fan, but I definitely ain't deluded like many other football fans. Over time, we'll be joined by guest supporters of other clubs to discuss and debunk any delusions that they may have about their club. So please like and subscribe, but more importantly, please enjoy. Come on, the Chelsea! Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the People's Pundit podcast. Today I'm very excited to be talking about Arsenal and Tottenham. I've brought two friends of mine. Stav, how you doing?
I'm alright, Chris. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. And Stel, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, not too bad. Right. Stav here is obviously an avid Arsenal fan who believes Arsenal are a bigger club than Tottenham. Is that right?
Stav knows Arsenal are a bigger club than Tottenham.
Okay, fair enough. And I'll ask you the same question, Stel.
Come on, the Spurs.
That's a good enough answer by me. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to settle this through a criteria table. I'll give you the list of the 10 items, and then from there, we'll break them all down one by one. The first thing we're going to talk about is silverware. Then we're going to go through match-going support, European pedigree, worldwide support, total leagues in the Premier League seasons, total Premier League seasons, stadium size, the recent Premier League record, let's say, where they finished, recent silverware, the number of internationals per club, and their transfer spend over the last, say, 5 years. So you guys happy with that?
Very happy.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah, good, Chris.
Good. Right. All right, what we'll do then, we'll talk about silverware. Arsenal, you'll always go first as your A in the alphabet, so I'll let you argue your point first. And then Tottenham, well, their silverware's, it is what it is. But yeah, go for it, Arsenal.
Thanks, Chris. Obviously, I'm going to go first because we've got more league titles than both of you combined.
Whoa, leave Chelsea out of this,
I'm just throwing that.
If we would have chucked Chelsea in here, I've
but
won
not
category,
but not European trophies, okay?
But yeah, go for it.
Obviously, 13 league titles, 13 FA Cups. Pretty much more than both of you lot.
Stop bringing Chelsea to this. You don't want Chelsea to get involved, trust me.
It's not a fair fight against Tottenham, put it that way.
Well, that is the fight today. We'll build up to another fight. Don't worry about that.
So on silverware, if we're talking about what's a bigger club, is that the whole point? What's the bigger club?
Who's the bigger and better club right now, basically, yeah.
So can I clarify? Biggest club or biggest club in North London?
Yeah, biggest club in North London.
Because they're not from North London, you see.
Oh, yes, he's got a point. See, you forgot to mention that straight away, didn't you?
Look, we can be going back and forth, but...
No, it's fact. You're not from North London. You're Woolwich, Arsenal.
They are.
I'm proud. Come to North London, mugged a couple teams off, won our league titles, went unbeaten.
In the 30s, weren't it? 3 of them in the 30s or something?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Arsenal fan, you're not sure? Wow, okay, fair dues. All right.
But do you know how many league titles Chelsea won in the 30s?
None in the 30s, but we're cool with that anyway. All right, so Arsenal, you're happy with what you said so far? You're happy with your 13 league titles, your 13 FA Cups?
Yep.
League Cups, how many of those have you got along the way?
Well, it says 2, but I'm not.
It's 2.
It's 2, yeah.
I mean, I've done my research on this. It's just a measly 2, really.
Oh, okay.
All right, and then, we're not going to even bother mentioning those little one-off community shields. Are we? Or is that
we can't be counting community shields, man.
We can't, can we? It's a one-off game. It's a friendly.
That's like Super Cups. You can't.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll leave that. Let's talk about, have you won anything in Europe? Oh, yeah, you won the Fairs Cup back in the day. That was fair, weren't it? All right. Other than that, we'll go to you then, Stel. Talk to us about Spurs' honours.
This is the way I see it, okay? So Arsenal have won more trophies than Tottenham. You can't argue it. The facts are there, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
But we've won more League Cups and European trophies than what they have. But then they've won more League titles and more FA Cups. Fair enough. We can't argue it. But this is what I will say. The Premier League season began in 92, 93.
Yep.
Before then, Spurs had won more FA Cups, League Cups and European Cups than Arsenal. More.
Did not know that.
Yeah, we'd won more than them. They only passed us. We were the record holders of the most FA Cup wins.
I was about to say, I was surprised you won 8. That's quite a lot. I didn't realise.
when the Premier League began and money came into the game, and in my opinion, you don't win trophies, you buy them now. Okay, there is the odd occasion where a team wins something and you think, have they done that? That's not supposed to happen. But in general, money talks. Arsenal pushed on and we didn't. And you could say we still quite haven't, but maybe we're beginning to turn the tide. I don't know. Fair enough. Then Chelsea came in, blitzed Arsenal. Man United were now struggling. Then Man City came in and it's just lit City, Chelsea, City, Chelsea.
It's a money game.
To me, yeah. So, yeah, Arsenal have won more trophies than us. They have. But it all comes down to who's got the most money to chuck at it. And I just think Arsenal have thrown more at it than what Spurs have. And later on when we get into it, we'll see it.
Fair enough. That's fair. All right, so based on that one, based on that one, we're going to go 1-0 Arsenal because they have factually won more.
I can't argue it. I can't.
We'll give Arsenal that one. Okay, cool. Next one is match going support. Now, for this one, before we begin, can I just say, not just Arsenal, and not just Tottenham, all clubs, they seem to put their attendance as tickets sold. So it's very hard for us to factually get the correct answer. I've gone, with my research, by what is factually down on the Premier League website as clubs' attendances this season. And I can see the averages. The average for Arsenal is 60,279.
That's a big number, you know. Average 60,000 fans per game.
Let's get back to that. We'll come back to that.
Chris, these figures, what's it plucked from? Last season, this season, the past 10 years?
This is this season. Okay. For this season. And Tottenham's is 59,384. So Arsenal win by about 1,000. However, from my opinion, I'm going to say that's a lie. And Arsenal have definitely lied because I think the whole world has seen when they've even Sky Sports have kind of mugged them off a bit when they've when it comes up the official figures. When they do the official figures, say 59,000.
Wait.
Then they'll do a stadium shot and you see so many empty seats.
All right, but wait, let me explain something to you.
Okay.
That, as you said, you can't control how many people come to the game. The clubs it'll be virtually impossible to do that.
Well, it's not. You just have a gating system. As they tick in, that's one person who's come in. 2, 3, 4. They do know the real figures, 100%. But they can't release it. Arsenal are going to say we're the biggest club in North London.
Yeah, but that's every club.
And then you only get 45,000 people at your game.
That's all right. Firstly, let's not get it twisted about our attendance.
Well,
our season ticket waiting list is over 10 years.
Well, half your season ticket holders don't go. I'm a Chelsea fan. I get offered tickets by Arsenal.
What kind of a support is that when they're not turning up?
Exactly, that's my point.
All right, wait. Let's not get it twisted.
Okay.
For the last 10, 20 years, Arsenal have had more support. Since we've had the Emirates, we've packed that thing out.
When we were at Wembley, we hit 85,000. Fact.
League record.
No, yeah, but... Like,
85,000.
No one cares.
That's Barcelona level.
What do you mean?
Fans,
Listen, if you're advertising on radio and Capital Extra and you're sending people free tickets, you're going to fill it out. Do you know what I mean? It's not like...
but the fans still have to turn up and pay the money for the ticket.
The thing
turn up what once?
You don't have.
Yeah, turn up what once?
No,
what do you mean? No,
Spurs,
we packed up Wembley pretty much every week we were there.
Every week. Firstly, you wouldn't have gone to Wembley if you lot didn't have to move stadiums. Let's get that straight.
What, rebuild? You rebuilt.
You had to do it.
Yeah, we rebuilt and went straight into the Emirates. We didn't have to
borrow
someone's stadium.
You moved. They didn't.
What?
Their stadium is about 100 yards from their old stadium.
You moved location. We rebuilt on the same site.
Yeah. That's why they had to move to another site.
So what's that got to do with match attendance?
They didn't sell their soul. You sold your soul twice.
To who?
Woolwich, and then you had to move from where you were,
Ashburton to Finsbury.
Yeah. Where else do you want to move? You want to try to come down to Chelsea?
Bro, we've upgraded our stadium. Something you've both been trying to do for the last 10 years.
We've got the best stadium in the world, man.
Oh yeah, since last week. What do you mean? Like, it's been a week. Like, you've had the stadium for a month.
And it's been the best stadium in the world for 1 week.
Listen, don't get it twisted. We were building stadiums 15 years ago.
No, I'll give you that. You was well ahead, 100%.
What do you mean you give me that? What do you mean?
It's the facts, isn't it? I'm going with
the fans gave that.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And we
packed out that stadium since we've moved in.
Listen, this is the way I look at it, Chris. Right?
And you can't.
You can only pack what you've got, right? What? So whatever stadium you're in, you pack it?
Can't put people
we have proven we can pack the biggest stadium in this country. You haven't.
All right,
So if we're talking about match support,
what's
The Spurs
Tottenham's?
fans, we
Wait,
turn
wait.
up.
Let me ask you a question.
They win.
What's
Their biggest attendance. They win.
They win what?
With the biggest attendance.
With what in Wembley?
Yeah,
If
doesn't
you
matter.
gave
They've still
Arsenal,
got the
if
biggest
you
attendance.
gave Arsenal a 200,000 seater stadium, we'll pack that shit.
But you can't even pack
We
a
will pack
60,000 seater.
What do you mean we can't?
Don't pack
Not
it.
only 1 second. Wait. You're misunderstanding.
pack your
Wait,
stadium.
Wait, Chris. Wait. You're misunderstanding. Packing our stadium. If people are buying the tickets,
Yeah.
and choosing not to turn
Why
up,
are they not going? They're Arsenal fans. Why don't they want to go
Bro,
to see their
it's
club
not-
play football?
let me finish first.
Go on then.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go on. Finish your point.
So, if the club is selling 60,000 tickets on a weekly basis, twice a week, yeah,
Once every 2 weeks.
once
Home
every two,
away,
all
home
right,
away.
yeah. Sometimes you got like double
Okay.
home game weeks and stuff like that. We are selling the tickets to season ticket holders, people that can't come do it on the exchange. We've been going through a bad patch with the whole Venga and then Venga and Emre. Yeah, the fans had to do something to show the club like how bad things had got for us. So people didn't want to go. I had enough of going and watching us getting spanked, like losing to like shit teams, dropping points every week. You have enough because
Yeah, of course, I get it.
our voices weren't being heard. So people stopped going to show the board that, look, without us, yeah, the club's nothing. And that's with every team.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Fans are the
if
club.
we're not going there spending our money, then the club, they're not going to...
But that's where you go wrong. That's where your whole argument's wrong, though.
yeah,
Because you're saying spending the money.
Chris,
spending the money.
Chris,
It's selling
I
out.
don't
Let me
buy.
explain.
I don't buy that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't either.
What?
Because you're selling your.
I'll tell you why.
Your players, the club, your club are getting the money. They're laughing because they're getting the money. You're not even going. So they win.
Yeah,
the
but
club.
what you make
board
extra
win.
money on match day revenue.
Yeah, but you've still sold out.
You
the
sold the
stadium.
tickets. Yeah, you do that on a season ticket basis. The club's they're not based. It's people going there,
And
going
spend
to the
money
shop,
at the game,
buying
Yeah,
beers,
yeah, okay, fair
getting
enough.
food.
Yeah.
That generates. I think the last time I checked, it's like £4 million profit per game.
Can I tell you why I disagree
Yeah, go
With
for
what?
it.
with what you've just said
What did I?
about not turning up because
People were
you
pissed
want to
off.
protest, basically, yeah.
It's not just protest. People had enough.
All right, but I tell you why I disagree with that. Real fans, you get behind your club through thick and thin. Spurs fans have not had it good for a long time prior to the last 5 years. We always rock up.
He's got a point.
But that said, I can get you being upset and like, oh, we've had enough, we're not coming. But you played Olympiacos. You win that game, you're through to the latter stages of a competition that you can win and get back into Champions League. Stadium had 20,000 empty seats. How are you getting behind your club?
Yeah, 20,000 out of 60,000. Let's not forget that.
That's a lot.
So 40,000. That's more than the bridge.
But
That's
that's not the question. If we had more seats, we'd have it fill out. Don't worry about that. What he's saying is 100% right. It's your club at the end of the day. Whether you're happy with how the club's being run, it's your club. You want to see them do well, right or wrong.
Of course.
So why are not all the Arsenal fans going to show their support to the team?
The fans go and show their support. We've been doing it non-stop. As I said, we've been packing out that Emirates. The last couple years, the fans have felt disconnected with the board, with the whole everything to do with Arsenal. The fans felt disconnected.
So basically, you only turn up when you get what you want.
That's
So Spurs who want Spurs fans who want to see us spend hundreds of millions of pounds
turning
and we
up.
don't spend the money, and what we stop turning up because we're not seeing the board spend. No, we turn up and we hope for the best.
Let me explain something to you. When you're paying the highest price season tickets in the league,
I think we're high now, actually.
in the league,
I think we're high.
oh yeah.
I think so, yeah.
all right. Well, that was again.
It's
like,
close.
couple
It's probably the
months
same.
ago.
It's probably the same, actually.
All right, look, let's move on to the next point.
No,
because
we can't move on. We
We're
can't
not
move.
going
Let
to
me
move
finish
to
what I'm
agree.
saying.
We're not going to agree, though.
Yeah, what's there not to agree?
Because you're talking about figures that
I'm
are
explaining
fake.
to you why people weren't turning up. Is that not what you were saying?
Yeah, but my point is...
You're saying that the figures are a lie because
they are a lie.
average
I've
attendance
got-
says 60,000, but I watched the game against Olympiacos and 20,000 people in there. 1 second, let me tell you, people have had enough of paying top whack,
Or supporting the club.
going there, no, No, don't get it twisted. Everyone that didn't go to that game would have watched it on TV.
You win that, you're
Fact.
through to the last 8.
Yeah,
Last
but
16, maybe.
People have stopped caring when
Exactly.
when the
That's
club
terrible.
stopped
Exactly.
caring
Terrible.
about you.
No,
You
that's terrible.
stop caring about like.
I think
deep down,
you lot are spoiled, man. I think
we're
you lot.
no,
I
we're
think you're
not
a
spoiled. We
fan
pay
base.
top whack. We've been there.
So do we, but I think you're
We've
spoiled.
been there.
I think you're spoiled.
We're not spoiled.
I think
we can't be
what
spoiled.
it is with Arsenal is you still think you're that United and Arsenal
big
from
club.
the late 90s. That's what I think it is. You have to be realistic now, and you are going to be dropping points to Everton's and these teams. You've got to be realistic. These teams are in and around, and even we're slowly. I'm worrying that we're going to end up with you lot. Like we're dropping slowly. We ain't won the league now for 2 years. Only 2, not 2 decades.
Let's hope so, Chris.
Anyway,
Let's hope so, man.
let's go back to Tottenham now. What would you think about your figures? Would you honestly say that they're real figures for attendance,
So,
or would you say it's the same boat as Arsenal?
match going support.
I'd say they're real figures. Maybe give or take a couple of thousand, right? But I think they're real figures.
Your experience from going to the games is
I'm a season
see
ticket
it-
holder.
You
It's
see
packed.
packed every
It's
week.
packed. You get the odd game, it's not packed, like some crappy FA Cup game versus Colchester
All right,
United.
yeah, that's fair.
right?
That's a given.
Then you've got the stadium isn't actually fully open. The Sky Lounge hasn't opened. Once it's open, it's going to be 62,500.
Oh, wow.
That opens up this summer. Well, I'm just saying
massive.
that's another 2,500.
Wow, 2.5.
And at the end of the day, why do every fan in the country calls Highbury the library? Why do they call it the library? What kind of support is called a library?
Oh, it's a shame it's called the Emirates now, but yeah, thanks.
And they still called it the library though. It's like, your fans are known as being pretty dull fans, like pretty average support. You don't have that
In your opinion,
that fire that I think the
In your
likes
opinion?
of Tottenham, Liverpool's, Newcastle's have got.
I don't know if you were there at when we smashed you lot 5-2 a couple times. I don't think it was no Highbury library then.
But North London derby is like that one-off
Yeah,
game.
you're
What
gonna
about
get-
when
you're
you're
gonna
playing
What
Brighton?
one-off game?
What about when you're going like Chris and you're playing Everton? What then? You only get up for the big games. That's whack.
Actually, we've got class about us and we've got a very sophisticated audience. So
All right,
they're
it's
not
a football
all
game, so I
hooligans.
don't want them to sit in silence. You want to cheer, you want to go mad. But anyway, we'll go. Listen, we'll move on. We'll move on. So for me, I'm
wait,
scoring that
let's
round
summarize.
as a void type thing.
What
Yes,
void?
because
Arsenal have got more people that go to on an average.
Recorded.
Your figures here say Arsenal have 60,279
It can't be true, Stan.
match going average support. Wait, Tottenham says 59,000.
Spurs fans are better.
59,000, so 384.
Yeah.
So
But-
that means
but-
that Arsenal have more
Tickets sold. That's all.
match
That's all
going
it means.
support than Tottenham. Does that not, is that not what that says?
Arsenal fans will agree with me.
Wait,
I'm
I'm just
telling the
asking
truth.
you
The
what it
truth
says
is-
on your piece of paper.
I know, but
I didn't print this, you did.
I know, but my reality is the reality is that they are not true figures.
Oh,
for
they're lies.
match going.
Okay, so
support.
let's scrap that whole category if that's what you're saying.
Well, these are the 10 categories that choose. So I've had to answer these questions. Simple.
But you've answered it. It says Arsenal 60,279, and here it says
Listen,
Tottenham,
for argument's sake,
59.
right? For argument's sake, I'll call it a draw on the figures. But in terms of best supporters,
Figures.
it's us, hands
Could
down.
someone get a calculator out and tell me what the difference is
All right, it's
between
about 1,000.
60,279 and 59,300?
fans.
Someone get the calculator out.
Cool. Anyway, listen. We're moving on to pedigree.
So that's
we're moving
so
on
match
to European
two.
pedigree.
So that's Arsenal for silverware
I'm not
and
giving you- I'm not
Arsenal
giving
for
you
match
match
going.
personal.
No.
I'm not giving you much
No.
personal.
One
I'm not
second,
giving
can
it
we?
to Spurs either. I'm
You
not giving it
can't.
to none of you.
You can't.
How
what
can
do
you not
mean
give it
you're
to
not-
us?
I'm not.
85,000.
But
Hey.
the match going support.
Can we ask the producer for a calculator,
Right.
please?
Record
we need to
attendance
move
in the
on to
Premier
the-
League.
Get me a
is Tottenham
calculator.
Hotspur. Record attendance in the Premier League is Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh my God!
It's not even. It's not even Arsenal.
Well,
Tottenham.
it's a shame we're talking
It's not
about
even
match
Arsenal,
going
Tottenham.
support.
It's
on
Arsenal,
an
Chelsea,
average.
Arsenal, United. All of you, we have the record
All right,
attendance.
listen, let's move
my
on.
God.
We're moving
All
on.
of
We're
you.
spending too much time on this one. We're going to move on
We
to
can't move
European
on until you
pedigree.
agree.
We're moving on
You
to
wait.
European
We
pedigree.
can't agree. We can't move on unless you lot tell me that 60,279. If that's more than 59,340.
Well, we know the figures
As
are
the
wrong. It
producer
should
got
say,
the
it should say
calculator.
86,500. The figures are wrong. I agree. It should say 86,000.
Why? When have you got 80,000
Wembley.
people in 68,000?
Wembley.
Okay, so we're going to go European
Wembley.
pedigree, guys. I have to move on.
Okay.
European pedigree. This is based on basically your European ventures. So we'll
Stature
start with Arsenal.
or recent?
Everything you want, anything you want to talk
We've
about.
won the most
in Europe.
European trophies out of the
You
two
go
clubs.
to. We'll go to Tottenham after.
No
Go
one
to
cares
Arsenal.
about your 1922.
So then no one cares about your league titles. We're not having that. You can't say about stuff like that. You have to talk about
Facts.
European.
Let's talk
facts.
facts. All
European.
right, let's talk
European
facts.
pedigree.
Let's talk facts.
If I said to you,
European
tell me why
pedigree.
Arsenal are big in Europe.
European pedigree. Why Arsenal big in Europe? Arsenal, from what was it? 92. When did
You're gonna get rinsed.
rinsed
Yeah,
about
wait
what?
Wait your turn. Don't worry.
Can't
What do you
wait.
mean? There was what was it? We got 19 consecutive Champions Leagues. Only second to run. Wait. Before it's not your turn yet.
I haven't spoken.
20,000. What is it? 19 consecutive seasons in the Champions League. We
That is a
obviously
good
got
record.
to the
That is a
Champions
good
League
record.
final.
That is a very good record.
Yeah, second to Real Madrid. So in terms of pedigree, all right, we haven't been in the Champions League the last 3-4 years. Things have been going shit for us in Europe, as you know, Chris. Azerbaijan, we haven't been a dominant. We haven't been doing well in Europe. I'll put my hands out and say Tottenham have obviously they've made Champions League. They've come above us the last three seasons. Obviously, we've been doing all right in the Europa. We look like we could have done something. Again, lost in Azerbaijan. And generally, but if we're talking pedigree and in terms of as a force, not false in Europe. When I'm not saying we're a force, but back then, when we were at our highs, we were a force in Europe.
You were a lot bigger in Europe.
We were massive in Europe.
You were a big
no
draw
one
in
wanted
Europe.
to play. Yeah, we were a big
You were
draw.
a big draw in Europe.
Big
Yeah,
club.
you was top seeds.
You were
I
the top.
remember.
You wouldn't want to be playing Arsenal in
No,
Europe.
you
mate.
wouldn't. But
Like,
this is before. This
this
is a while
was
back.
before,
It's
yeah.
at least a decade ago, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah,
But Arsenal
about
were.
a decade.
Arsenal
yeah.
were. I remember, like when
We
we
were
beat you
forcing
in the
Europe.
Champions League that year. That was never meant to happen.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I think the year after that, you actually got to the final. If I'm right,
yeah, it was. Yeah,
is that right? Yeah.
It
So that's what I'm
was,
saying. You had a good team, and you were.
Yeah.
You were a team everyone wanted to avoid. But that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think for argument's sake, you make Champions League football, for next season? Just say, for argument's sake, you make. Do you think teams in Europe are going to be looking at Arsenal in their group and be like, "Damn, we've got Arsenal," or would they be thinking, "Thank God, this were Arsenal a couple of decades ago, like a while back"? As in, they think we could beat Arsenal.
Don't get it twisted. When since Arteta, I do think I do like our. Obviously, there's a few positions that we need to strengthen, like every club. But I think we've got a good base. Like we're not no pushovers. When you got Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe, like direct goal getters, people are gonna be worried. You're not gonna think, oh yeah, we're gonna come to the Emirates and do these over.
Olympiacos did, but all right.
They didn't do us over. Come on, let's not
Right.
let's not exaggerate.
They knocked you out in your home ground.
Aubameyang missed that
30,000
absolute
fans.
sitter.
Yeah, but that's what he does. He does that.
Yeah, and he scores.
But he does score a lot of goals. I'll give it that. But he does crumble
Olympi
sometimes.
who?
All right, so I'm happy with your answer. You've laid it out there. You've told the truth as well that, over the last recent few years, you have fallen off. And no one could disagree. Arsenal fans won't disagree with that. Yeah. Let's talk Spurs because I feel like it's the complete opposite.
No way are Arsenal a better pedigree team in Europe. None. It's Tottenham. We've won more trophies. And that alone, we've won more trophies than you in Europe. Also, how can you say, for 19 years in a row we got Champions League? That's like saying, we came 19 years in a row, second place in the league. So what? Means nothing. 19 years. I think you were in it for more than that, about 20 years, whatever. How many times did you get to final? Once. I think we've been in the Champions League 3 years. We got there once. What
That's
we did in 3
true.
years took
That's
you
very
19
true.
or over 19 years. So
No,
it's not, it's facts.
It's true, though. It's true. And got to the same stage there in the Champions
Same
League.
stage, bro. It was over in the first 5 minutes. Let's not forget that. Ours, we lost it in the last 10.
The most dubious handball you've ever seen. And then for the next 90 minutes, it was 1-0. It could have gone either way.
I think that game, though.
But that game is over. But we can talk about why we lost it. But we can talk about why Arsenal lost to Barcelona in their final too. But the question is, who's got the biggest European pedigree?
Manless.
It's Tottenham. Hands down. You might have been in the competition. But what, you in it to just make up numbers? You in it to win it. You want to win it. You've never won it. But nor have we. But you've had 19 goes at it. We've had 3.
So
And
what
we've
does
both-
that mean?
and
What
we've
does that mean? European pedigree. That means we've been up in the mix.
Doing
A
nothing.
lot many.
Doing nothing.
How
How many times
what do you
won
mean?
it?
What have you done?
Nothing.
What
Same
have
as
you done?
you. But we
You
won
went,
more
you went,
European
you went
trophies.
Champions League final, lost it in the first 5 minutes. Yeah, undoubtedly gonna lose that game.
Yeah, dodgy handball.
Spurs
without
have
a
won.
without a
sorry, in Europe, these are European trophies. Spurs have won 2 UEFA Cup winner. Whatever it is.
UEFA Cups, 1 Cup
Yeah, you
Winners'
won
Cup.
2 UEFA Cups. Is that right?
Yeah.
And
And,
one
and,
Cup
and,
Winners'
can I
Cup.
say, when we won these trophies, it was a different competition because you could only get into the European Cup back in those days if you won the league. Second place is no Champions League.
That's right.
Second place, third place was UEFA. And then to get in the Cup Winners' Cup, you had to win the FA Cup. So to qualify for those competitions was a different ball game, and we won them.
And do you know that?
What's that got to do with
I'm
how
saying,
many
I'm
times?
saying
you've
the,
been
the
in?
European
talking about
trophies we
European.
have got.
Okay, so are you
It
telling
was
me
harder
that
to
you
win
guys
those
have
back
been
then.
in more European competitions than us?
Mate, you don't get Carragher in the NFC Sheriff in the UEFA Cup back in the day. Now you go Europa Cup. Listen, let's be honest. 50% of teams you play, I've never heard of them, man. I've never heard of the
What do
countries
you mean
they're
you
from.
play? You're talking
Bruv,
like
you played the final in
you ain't
Baku.
played. What's that? I didn't choose where they were going to do.
But that's what I'm saying, that's the
I wasn't
competition.
part of that conversation.
That's the European level you're at now. That's where your club is at. You're in the Europa Cup. Year
you
in,
feel-
year out.
Wait. Let me just say one thing.
We play Bayern Munich.
That's your level at the moment.
You're playing Asante FC.
This is new to you, my brother.
That's new
This
to
is
you.
not
It's not
the
new to-
first time.
This is new to your club.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's new to us playing in Baku and all these places. That's new.
Yeah.
Cluj FC and all these
Yeah,
clubs.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's
Champions
new
League.
to
That's
us.
your
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
That's
the
your
last
level.
3 years. No. Let's not get
It
twisted.
is. It's your level.
The last 3 years, we were at that level. You've been like that your whole lives.
No, we haven't.
You lot
No, we
didn't
haven't.
even qualify.
We've won 3 European trophies. You won 1. 1. Your presence in Europe is done.
How many times have you been in Europe?
Spurs have been in Europe for years and years and years.
More than Arsenal?
Of course we have.
Don't be deluded, my brother.
Have you? I don't
You've
think you
been in the Champions
Actually,
League.
I'll take that back. I don't know.
don't
Is this
I
guy
think
crazy? This is what I've got to deal with. Every
Okay,
Tottenham
well,
fan
then
saying.
we're better because we've been in it less and won more.
That's the point. Averaging.
That
The averages are better
that,
than yours.
wait.
So you're
That
there
is-
doing what?
What?
What are you
Okay,
there
Wait,
for?
at least
guys,
we're there.
Again, we're going to move on though. Because
No, we have no. Spurs are winning this one.
That's absolutely
If they win the
ridiculous.
silverware one,
Well,
based on the fact
obviously,
we won-
based on titles.
So the fact that we've
If
won,
they win the silverware, he said, if they
no,
win it.
the fact you won the silverware category.
Of course we did.
So-
And we
so
won
we win the
match
Euro-
going
No,
support
we
category
agreed that
as
was a
well.
draw.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we
You
did.
two tried to
85,000 fans.
get the calculator from the producer and let's do the maths.
On this topic
Get the
here,
calculator.
On this topic here,
Guys,
Topic
we've got to
2.
move on to the
three
next category again.
three
Bro,
European
I'm not
trophies
moving on.
versus
I'm
one.
leaving it scoreless.
How we've won
Are
3
you
European trophies?
an actual?
What kind of Chelsea fan bias is this, man?
Exactly. I'm trying
I got
to get it from the
Guna,
right place.
and
Where's
a
the
Chelsea
fucking
scum.
He
calculator?
thinks I'm wrong. You think I'm wrong. So that's good. That's perfect.
Chris, okay. But,
Oh, someone get me a
just
calculator.
explain to me.
honestly,
Explain to me
please.
this.
I see both your points. I see both your points.
Okay, just explain one thing. If Arsenal won the silverware trophy because they've won more silverware, which is right, I get that. How is it if we've won more European trophies, we don't win this category?
Because we've been in European competitions way more than you
Winning
guys.
nothing.
This category
One
is
second.
really.
You've won
it's
nothing,
a bit,
though.
It's a bit.
Yeah, but you've never
open.
been there, bro. You guys have never been in
we've
the
won
mix.
We've won
What are
3
you talking
trophies.
about?
How have we not been there?
What? Over the when did you win your
That's
Come
not the
on,
question.
Let's
61.
find out when
That's not the question.
When
Was it
did you win
61
your
you won?
cups?
Was it
When
61?
did you win your
60s
cups?
and 80s.
What's the dates?
What's that got to do
No,
with it?
I'm
I'm
not having
asking,
that
when
from an
did you win your
Arsenal
league
fan. I'm not having that
titles?
from an
The
Arsenal fan.
30s.
Exactly.
60s and 80s.
I'm not having that from an
1930s.
Arsenal fan. I'm not having that from about when, because that's all you lot talk about now, history. That's because you won it back in the 30s and the 60s.
But he's
and
saying,
the 70s.
wait.
When did you do the double?
But
The
if you're gonna
70s.
use
Should we
that,
forget
you
the fact
can
you did the
use that.
double?
If you're
one
using
second.
the league titles and all that back
Listen,
in the day before
Tottenham have won more
Okay,
European
let him
trophies.
use that.
We are a better club in Europe. Fact.
That is not a
All right,
fact.
as it
Because
goes-
we've
no, wait,
been in
stop,
European
stop.
cups and competitions.
Guys, I need to
way
talk-
more
This
than
is
you.
what I love about Arsenal fans. When it comes to
is
like
what I
who's the
hate
bigger
about
club, they
Tottenham.
look at trophies. When Tottenham have won more trophies than in the particular categories, it doesn't matter.
All right, that's
Well,
my point.
what
I'm
kind-
gonna
what
break it
kind of
down.
fan base is
Whether
this?
you look like
Okay,
this one.
I'll-
No, it's done. Listen, this is how we're going to end this category. It's simple. I'm going Spurs for a reason. I'm going Spurs for a
going
reason.
home. I'm going home. If you're not
Just like
giving
their fans,
me
they go
match
to the
going
stadium
support
and they go home.
and telling me
Can I
European
give my
pedigree,
reason? Can I give my reason?
I don't, bro. I'm not being sat here to get set up by you.
Well, there's 10 categories.
How you been set
Exactly.
up?
What
We've
do you
won
mean?
more
Because you're
trophies.
voiding one of the
I'm
categories.
not. Listen, the European pedigree. Arsenal were 1 million. If you asked me this 10 years ago, Arsenal for me you were one of the biggest clubs in Europe without a shadow of a doubt.
European pedigree was high.
Yeah, it was. Okay. Now, I think if you go into Europe and you ask these clubs about Arsenal or Tottenham, everyone is going to say Tottenham are the club from North London.
Half the people don't know who they are, bro.
They do. Listen, we've got to be a bit realistic now.
All right,
Spurs,
we'll be realistic.
Over the last few years,
have
been
in the
a
Champions
massive
League,
name
yes,
for
that's
themselves.
And the final.
Yeah, they've built a stadium out of it. They've turned everything around. But Spurs were a team, and they're happy to admit it. They used to turn up to half the time. They knew they were finishing mid-table.
Easy, Chris.
Exactly. So that means they weren't
Easy,
qualifying
Chris.
for Europe.
Yes, all right.
Which means they weren't in any European
But
competition.
they really,
Regardless
No,
or
no,
not, they weren't there.
we
They
divide
weren't
up-
in the mix.
This
We
is
were
how-
in
this is how
European
I've decided.
competitions. We were in the Europa Cup. We were in European competitions.
I'm going to divide. The way I've decided this one is I've divided up your averages and what your finishes and that. And Spurs win. They win it more on average. They get better.
They
position.
win it
On to
more
the next
on
category.
average.
More European
They've never.
things
What are
than
you
you.
talking about?
The
They
next
won.
category,
They won the
please.
Champions League.
But they've won more European. They won the European League. Was it called the not European League? The Cup Winners. the
I'm
UEFA
happy
Cup,
to.
the
I'm
Cup
happy
Winners'
to
Cup.
move on, Chris. Man,
No, we are.
this is
Listen,
done.
There's still
This was
another-
done before it
so
began.
I've changed that to Tottenham.
Yeah, for you, my brother. If we're gonna put right in
Worldwide
our
support.
categories,
Worldwide support is the next category.
we might as well go next
I
because
believe
this
we
is
should just go
embarrassing.
straight to next as well.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I think that's not embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing.
Why
It's-
should I bring
they've
the
caught
stats
up,
out?
They've caught up. That was a lot lower.
The
a
one,
few
the
years
one.
ago.
Listen. Arsenal have got, I think, a bigger global fan base, no doubt.
Yeah.
You think?
They do.
Yeah,
I heard you say you think.
Because no, I'll tell you why I say I think. Because the Spurs fan base globally is more silent. It's not in your face. You don't. It's hard to know who supports Tottenham, and the reason is partly one. Arsenal Fan TV the last 5 years has projected the club globally, and because they go abroad on to the matches and they go to like events in different parts of the world where there's Arsenal teams, that publicity in an era of social media has elevated how many fans there are out there. There's nothing like that for Tottenham because Spurs tried to start a fan channel, but the club shut it down because, look, let's be
They
honest.
didn't want the same thing to happen.
Well, let's be honest. Half the people that follow Arsenal Fan TV are following them because they can't wait for them to lose to start bantering them.
1,000,000%. But you'd agree with that. You know, you don't like them. In your club,
I don't want to talk about Arsenal Fan TV.
Yeah, but
That's
you see, I think you can't ignore it because Arsenal Fan TV has got an impact on the worldwide support. There's a lot of fans.
Yeah, it's true.
that-
Everyone wants to support a team that is getting mugged off every weekend. That other fan. If you
But-
go on
but half-
Arsenal Fan TV, I guarantee there's more Tottenham and Chelsea fans on there subscribed than
Yeah,
Arsenal
but there's a lot.
Probably, yeah.
But,
Exactly.
But
Everyone's
amazing.
laughing at us,
globally,
bro.
but globally, fans actually go to that channel because they support Arsenal. It's only the UK fans that are following it to banter you. You're not going to get a fan in America who supports Chelsea. I'm going to follow Arsenal Fan TV to banter them. They don't care. They're not living it like we are here.
So what are you trying to say? That Arsenal Fan
so
TV's
he's
got
not-
fans?
he-
What I'm
because-
saying
what-
is the
what's
Spurs,
said-
the Spurs fan base is hidden, and the reason I say this,
Yeah, it's
Chris,
hidden 'cause there's
and the
not
reason I
many-
say this to you, when we got to the final of the Champions League, I've never in my life seen a crowd like that outside White Hart Lane.
Because you've
The
never
high
been there
road-
before, my friend.
and you've only been there once.
You ain't
And
seen
the
no,
whole
you ain't
high
seen
road-
no championship parades.
3
and stuff
European
like that.
trophies to 1.
FA
That high
Cup
road-
parades.
Listen,
and
listen,
stuff.
that,
The
13
Spurs,
FA
Let
Cups.
him
the
finish.
Spurs high road from almost Seven Sisters all the way down almost to Edmonton, mate, I've never seen numbers like that. They were in the hundreds of thousands and up. I'm just saying, I think the Spurs fan base is hidden.
Okay, that might be the case, but based on social media across all platforms.
Social media, yeah. Arsenal Fan TV
You
is the
can't hide on
biggest
social
fan
media, innit?
platform in the world, isn't
No,
it?
they're not.
No, they're not,
We're
actually.
bigger than them. Well, just to let you know, we're like 15, 20 million.
Well, I'm bringing Chelsea, but if you want to start bringing Chelsea, we
just
can
to
have.
let you know, well, we can't. We win this hands down, eyes closed. But anyway,
That's debatable.
it's really not. Anyway, listen.
They had to bring Chelsea into it.
I
isn't
didn't
it?
want to. What I'm trying to say is worldwide.
A club with
social
15 years of
media-
history.
Worldwide social media.
So wait, the
Arsenal
topic-
trumps
the topic-
Spurs by
the topic
like
we're
3 to 1.
Wait, so
Arsenal
Arsenal
social
win
media
that
bigger. That's
Yeah,
fair.
Arsenal
wait.
win that worldwide support.
I couldn't give a shit
I don't
about
think
that.
there's a. I don't think there's a
Worldwide
state-
support. Wait,
That's
this is a
white
big
category
topic,
anyway.
gentlemen.
Who's got the most
Worldwide
likes on
support.
Facebook, you can have it.
No,
Okay.
it's not who's got more likes on Facebook, my brother.
Listen,
It's who has more fans.
No,
Worldwide.
no. To be
support.
fair,
that
this
not
is
right?
more follows and more likes. So we don't know if they are fans.
Oh, well,
but
I've got some stats for you.
Yeah, that's fine,
Over
yeah,
here,
go for it.
gentlemen.
Tell us about these emojis.
Worldwide fans, Tottenham, 35 mil.
Where'd you get that from?
Statistics. I'll do my research, my brother. Did you
Where
not
are you
do
getting
yours?
this research from?
Did you not get yours?
Who did you speak to?
Arsenal, worldwide fans, 125 mil.
Don't be
Get
so
a little bit back if
stupid.
you want. Yeah, that's it. Go on, sorry.
125 mil.
Don't be so
Well,
daft.
So
basically
let
you're
me
saying that
give
you've
you.
got
This is what
68,000
I'm just
68
going
million
by the
on social
numbers.
media, but only
Bigger
about
No,
50
on
million
bigger
paid
social
population than
media,
Japan.
on social media, we've got 37.9 million on Facebook, 13.5 million on Instagram, and 14.1 million on Twitter followers.
And you still can't pack out your stadium.
Let's.
Anyway, listen, we've
What's
given
your
that to
waiting
our, we've
list?
given that to Arsenal. Anyway, let's
One
move on.
second.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
125 million fans and only 20 turn up to the
Go for it.
stadium.
That's not fair.
What did you want to apply to
So,
that then?
what is Tottenham Hotspur's waiting list for a season ticket?
Right now, it's in excess of 25,000.
25. Sorry,
Shall I say it again?
I'm used to understanding by a number of years. of waiting list.
25,000 fans.
25,000 people that won the Tottenham season ticket are waiting.
Yeah.
That's a joke. How's this guy telling me about 25? Our season ticket is 10 years. You got to wait 10 years.
I said number of fans, not
It is
years.
Fans, we don't know. We can't put. I don't think for any side we could argue that because you don't know how many years that is and you don't know how many fans that is.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how big your waiting list is. You can't pack out your stadium, man.
We've been packing out our stadium for 15
We're not going back to the
years.
stadium, boys.
Olympiacos.
Moving on. Now this one is a void because it's the category is total Premier
So
League
worldwide
seasons.
support, Arsenal.
Yeah,
Let's
total
get that
Premier
in
League
the,
seasons.
in
You've
the
both
bag.
been in from the beginning. No one's been relegated since 1992, since it started. So
Yeah.
that's just a draw, but that's one of the
But,
categories.
Tottenham did get relegated in
No,
1977,
Forget
if
that.
you
It's nothing to do
recall
with the
that.
Premier League.
One second.
It's
We're
nothing to do with
talking
Premier
history. If you're going to mention the European Cups, why can't we mention that they got
This is
relegated?
the category. The category says total Premier League seasons. Premier League started
Yeah.
in 1992.
But if
None
we're,
of you
if we're going to
been
start...
relegated.
so,
We
like...
move on. Spurs win the next one. Sorry, well done Spurs.
Wait,
Stadium
Premier League
size.
seasons, one second, they got relegated.
They did not get relegated from the Premier
In
League,
ni-
bruv.
okay,
Premier League.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah, that's what I'm
I know.
saying.
In
They
the
haven't
Premier League,
been
but
relegated.
1977 they
That's
got
fine.
That's
relegated.
not the question.
Which
Yeah,
was
that's fine.
It's not the question.
after they won them European Cups, you lot are trying to dismantle me on the European pedigree.
This European thing's a real sore subject for you, like, isn't it?
We're
No,
going on to the
keep bringing
stadium
it up.
I'm
size.
just onto facts.
We'll move straight past stadium size because factually Spurs
Next.
win. So Spurs are the winners there. So we've
Yeah,
got
it's true.
zero
It only
Arsenal.
cost them 600 million more, and it took them 15 years later.
Still not as much as Ozil's wages.
15 years ago, we done that shit. Thanks.
All right, now this category was the one that surprised me the most. Recent seasons. I've gone for the last 10 recent seasons. Now, I personally thought Spurs were going to win this one. This was the one I was kind of like, yeah, Spurs win this. But upon my research, I found the case to be different.
Good thing you done your
Would you like
research.
to go first, Stav?
Good thing you done your research.
I know.
10 seasons, 20 seasons, 30 seasons, 40 seasons. We've been there above them, mate. Obviously, the last 3 years they've come above us. They've been doing well. You got to give them credit. They've been doing well.
Yeah.
Like Pochettino, done a great job. Fantastic manager.
If you was a Spurs fan, let's just quickly go off subject here. If you was a Spurs fan, would you have wanted him gone?
No,
Fair enough. I just wanted to say
Honestly,
that.
I
That's
would.
okay, fair enough. But then continue.
but you can ask them as an ask.
Spurs fan, would they want Wenger gone?
Wenger, yeah.
I know your Facebook was always Wenger in, but that was a bit of
Oh, Wenger at Arsenal was brilliant the last 3-4 years. Amazing. Come on, man.
Spurs. But yeah, go on, sorry.
No, Poch done well. Got to give him credit, man. Like he built a good team.
You lot wanted him at
Good
your club
philosophy.
when he got fired from us.
I would have
There
taken
was
him. as
Arsenal
well.
fans that wanted him.
I would have taken
Yeah, I
him,
think
but
they
I'm
would've
so
taken him.
happy we got Arteta. I'm just throwing that out.
Every fan in the country who was a rival of Tottenham was cussing Poch out, but what's he won? What's he won? And then as soon as he got sacked, everyone's like, hope we get Poch, hope we get Poch.
Might be going Newcastle.
Yeah, still
you
he
know?
still ain't got
He'll
a job.
smash it there with money.
Still ain't got
He'll
a job.
smash it there.
All right, so sorry, this is recent seasons. You just basically said Arsenal.
Last 3 years they've come above us. Fair enough. Let's be honest. But over the last 10 years here, my friend, it does say that we've been doing better.
Listen,
according
Chris,
to your
this
stats.
is like almost a tie. You're talking point
Yeah, if
two,
you
right?
average,
Oh
if you
yeah,
round
just
it
we're
up and down,
just like
No,
we're
no,
talking
no.
about the extra 1,000 fans that attend Arsenal.
If
We're just
you-
are we going to scrap that?
No, no, no.
Avoid this
Wait,
one as well?
hold on, but 1 second, right? With these stats though, they're a little bit skewed because there's seasons here where Spurs were literally going for something else. Like last season, it's clear we weren't going to win the league. We got to about what February, March. We weren't going to win the league.
When you come third
But
in
when
a
we
two-horse race,
when we beat City in the Champions League, when no one thought that was going to happen, we completely disengaged from the Premier League. So yeah, we finished fourth, but we would have finished higher had we focused on that, but we didn't.
I'll take your
all
point
our
on board.
energy
I'll
was
take
now.
your point on board.
Yeah, but
all our energy.
that's
Wait,
like
let me
saying-
finish. Let me finish. All our energy was like, no, we got to go for that.
Champions League.
We've got to go for that. And so, you could, the seasons where you finish 5th or 6th or 4th, where's your mind at that season? Because Tottenham hasn't got a squad of like 24 players or 18 quality players. We can say, right, we're going for everything. We can't. Spurs can only ever really focus on one or two things, man. We can't until we build up a squad. So I think that's a tie.
Listen,
Delusions.
if you round it up and down to a real number, it's a tie. You're both fourth.
If you round
on
it up,
average.
it's an equal number.
Both finished because basically, just to let you guys know, the average is Arsenal 3.9, and Tottenham 4.1, as in where they've finished in the last 10 years.
So I put that as a 0.2 difference.
Yes, it is a 0.2
okay.
difference.
And right now, if the league season ended, this is a tie.
Next,
'Cause we're above
because
you.
this is getting ridiculous, man. If you lot can't,
You haven't
if you lot
taken the
can't do
season to
basic
count.
maths and tell me that,
No, but if this season
50
ends right now,
If you say
we're
that-
above you. So it's a tie.
No. It is Arsenal winner, but that is a correct.
No,
They
it can't
win.
be.
They
it's not
factually
over.
win.
Firstly, the season's
Listen,
not over.
for
so
me,
let's just talk about this shit.
you're both averaging fourth.
But you've
their
ignored the
actual
season.
average is 3.9.
I'm
You've ignored the
surprised,
season,
honestly, because they've been doing better than us the last 3 years.
That's
so
what I'm saying. I was
that
very
was
surprised with
actually.
this stat.
I'm not going to be like. I'll
4
be
years.
honest. You lot have been doing better the last couple of years. Let's be honest.
4 years, not couple.
Recent silverware is one of the
Your whole,
categories.
probably
Arsenal.
your whole life.
And obviously, there's no argument there. They've won 3 FA Cups.
Recent silverware.
Three
Next,
Shields as well, but yeah.
tick
Bought.
that one off, please.
Bought 3 cups. You buy cups.
So we got
Yeah, it's true. We bought 3 FA
now
Cups.
this one, I couldn't figure out how to work this. The answer.
Tottenham win this.
Number of
Do you
international
know what?
players.
This was one of the
Tottenham.
topics I thought Tottenham have got more internationals, and that's our back 5 is non-international starters.
The Greek. Let's talk about this.
He's
He
not.
plays.
He's retired now.
No, he still
He
plays.
don't play international.
He does. He played the last game.
No,
By
I
the way.
Does
All
he?
right, so we're going to give that to Spurs, yeah? If you guys are happy, because like I say, for me, I didn't even know where to start, and I thought it could be Spurs. But
One of our
maybe
best strikers.
Maybe my
50 mil for
vision...
Lacazette ain't even international, so
Yeah, it's true.
Whackers
And
it.
he's flipping good. No, I like him, man.
Lacazette.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
So we're
Lacazette,
going
he's
to
got
Tottenham with
better.
that one. And finally,
Big
the
up
last
Lacazette,
category,
my man.
The last category is your net transfer spend over the last
So how are you winning this? Who spent the most or who spent the least?
No, I'm going for least here.
Then we win. We win the whole league.
But wait, let me
We're the league champions of this.
transfer
We
spend.
should get a trophy for
I
it.
just want to know.
I was gonna say, let me break down
can I
numbers.
Wait, can I just ask a question?
Go on, ask me a question.
So the last topic is this the last one?
This is the last topic.
Transfer spend. How does that find out if you're a big club? It must be by the amount of money you spend, right? Is that what
See,
you're saying?
it's true. They don't specify here. They
It
just got
doesn't-
transfer
it doesn't-
spend.
Transfer spend.
It's true.
Because
If you're a
how
bigger
does
club, you'll
that
spend
determine if you're a big club? Because transfer spend, net spend, profits and stuff like that.
I can answer this. I think I know what it is, right? Every club's a business, yeah? So, which club operates the best as a business? And Spurs have spent the least, and we finish above you pretty much every year for the past 4 years. So in terms of business operations, we kill it.
Yeah.
You
Although
do
we're not winning
wanna
fuck
talk
all on the
business.
pitch because of it.
No,
You-
Spurs
yeah,
have
but you
killed
don't
it
want to talk
business-wise.
business
Spurs
with
have-
Arsenal.
Why? Spurs have done
What do you
very
mean? We're
well.
a money-making machine.
We're the
bro.
4th richest club in the world right now.
That's absolute bullshit.
not.
Someone
It's not.
call someone because
not.
that's absolute
not.
bullshit.
It came out.
I've got facts here
It's come
that
out.
tell me you're chatting shit.
Our club is worth 2 billion. The stadium's worth 1 billion.
Your club value is 948 million. Your
No, it's not.
revenue
The stadium's-
last year.
The stadium's worth more than that. Start
Wait,
again. That's a lie. The stadium's worth more than that.
I'm just gonna tell you what it says. Club value 948 million. Revenue 310 million. That's for Tottenham. Arsenal's revenue 426
You're
million.
wrong, bruv.
Club value 1.691 billion, which surprisingly enough, Chris, is worth more than Chelsea, which was a shock to me
not a
as well.
shock.
These
We've
figures are all
only got
wrong.
40,000
Everything he
seats
just
stadium.
said
That's the only
is a
reason why we have
lie.
that.
Absolute lies. Our stadium alone is worth over 1 billion. So how can
Get Deloitte up.
1 minute? Just basics. The stadium is worth more than 1 billion. How can the club be valued at 900 million? The asset alone of the stadium is worth more.
I'm just going by the
Yeah, by the Arsenal Fan TV.
Yeah, where did you get these stats?
I don't, as you heard, I'm
last
not
year,
Arsenal fan.
last
TV
year,
subscriber.
Tottenham, the revenue they made was the second highest in the league behind Liverpool.
What,
So how are you
after-
getting this 300, 400?
after what?
Spurs generate In terms of
competition money?
Total money coming into the club, revenue, income, total money, merchandise, kits, competition money, match day revenue, TV, everything. Tottenham are the second.
Guys, sorry, just to.
But this is transfer spend.
I'm giving you both a point. You've done well because your net spend's better. They've done well on that one because they've spent more. So
Yeah, but that's bullshit. Because what if you borrow that money?
But I don't know what they haven't specified.
but
Yeah, it's true. You didn't borrow the money to build your new
You got
stadium.
Man United, who borrowed the Glazers borrowed £600 million to put into Man United. How are they a bigger club? If the owner borrowed,
Then who?
Man City don't borrow nothing. You got a sheikh owner that just chucks, hey, here's $1 billion. How are they a bigger club than us? Because they put $1 billion in that we can't because the owner's richer. That doesn't make sense.
If they worldwide, they are.
I don't know how
As in
transfer.
terms of what they've been
I
winning
don't
with.
know.
We're
Wait,
richer than Man
back
City.
onto the topic.
Spurs are richer than Man City. No.
No.
The club.
Someone get this guy a calculator.
The club is rich, not the owner. The owner's richer. The club.
But that's just silly because back in the day, everyone was richer than Chelsea, but we were spending like there's no tomorrow. So it doesn't matter who's richer.
No.
Club,
But your thing is transfer
This is
spend.
that's why I'm giving you both one each because you win on that on the actual the way you spent your money and the way you've done business.
1 second.
But then you win on it,
but
but you spent more money. They haven't specified. They've just written transfer spend as a category.
That's why I think this category is bullshit.
That's why I'm giving you both a point because you both.
It should be who's the richest club on paper.
Who's got
the
more?
It's Tottenham.
Don't be absolutely
It is.
bro.
Should I get the facts up right now? Deloitte report came out 2 months ago.
Deloitte, get up Deloitte.
You're gonna
Get
get
Deloitte and a calculator because this man needs it.
You're gonna.
You wouldn't believe it. We got a draw, guys. I've just worked it out. Let's have a fight.
Wait, that's absolute bullshit.
Listen.
How can you tell me we've got a draw?
Let me go for it. First one.
No, but we are the richest club now.
Wait, ready?
Not that it
First
matters.
one is 1-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, so which
Now-
is silverware, 1-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, cool.
Are you happy with that, Tottenham fan?
Yeah, as long as you agree with the
Listen,
more
listen,
European
listen.
pedigree winner.
Listen, don't forget this isn't factual. This
Yeah,
is
Arsenal
based
1-0,
on me.
Arsenal
This is
1-0.
based on my
Arsenal
taking
1-0.
from
I
today.
agree. 1-0.
1-0 Arsenal.
Match
Second
going
one, I'm
support.
not giving no one simply because I know with my eyes it's a lie. I don't care what you're telling me.
Match going support. Chris,
Bruv, I
wait.
don't care what you say. It's with
Bro,
my eyes.
we've been having 60,000 man in our stadium for
Alright,
15,
cool.
20
I'm not
years,
giving
and
it
you're
to
just
you,
going
I'm
to
not
tell
giving-
me, sorry, match going support don't count.
But you had a bigger stadium than us for that period of time.
We built a bigger stadium than you, my
Yeah,
brother.
and now we've got a
I'm
bigger
telling
one.
you from what this is. Don't
Yeah,
forget.
2000,
this is my
15
opinion
years
here.
later. Allow me, bro.
This is my opinion here, and from my eyes, and I'm pretty sure all of your eyes that are watching this.
So do you think-
know Arsenal do not fill out their stadium? Full stop.
So do you
I'm not
think
saying
Tottenham-
do? Well, let me finish. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying Tottenham do, but I know
The library
100%
is empty.
They don't. Now Arsenal don't.
So do you-
I'm not
do
giving
you
that to anyone
believe-
because it's lied. It's fabricated.
So you're telling me
Their
you
ticket
believe that
sales,
Tottenham get
they're
more
not
fans
like-
than Arsenal?
I'm
Is
not
that what you're
saying
saying?
that. That's why I'm saying no. I don't know the answer, but I definitely know they're not real figures. That's 100%.
So you're
They're
scrapping
not
the whole
attendance.
category.
They're not. Yes, I'm
Alright.
saying I'm scrapping that category.
All right.
Next, European pedigree. I gave my reason for Tottenham. The reason I gave Tottenham is because, on average, if you average out every time they was in Europe, they've won things they haven't.
It's true. We've been in Europe 100 times. They've been in Europe
You're
5
making numbers
times,
in Europe.
and they've got
you
bigger
won
pedigree in
fuck
Europe. That's
all?
absolutely.
Next question.
You ain't won fuck all
Listen.
either.
3 trophies to 1.
Guys, next question is
Some bullshit.
is
handle it.
worldwide support Arsenal. I've given that to Arsenal. So
Oh,
far,
wait, are you sure?
2-1 Arsenal. I'm not
Okay.
being biased to anyone
Alright.
here.
Alright.
Just to let you guys know, the truth is I hate Arsenal, but I'm not being biased here. I'm going by all my facts.
The Chelsea fans actually hate Arsenal.
Yeah.
Only Chris.
Because I've noticed.
Only Chris hates
No,
Arsenal.
the reason I'm saying this because Spurs and Arsenal clearly that's a rivalry that's gone for 100 years. Yeah, it's like Celtic Rangers, Real Madrid, Barca, but Tottenham and Chelsea.
Recently.
No, for a while since the 70s, right? Because my uncle told me some stories. Obviously, I don't know about them, but there is real hate between Chelsea. And if you ever see like the fights that happen afterwards between like the hooligans, it's more Chelsea Tottenham than ever Spurs Arsenal.
Yeah,
but I don't know what's the situation between Arsenal and Chelsea because obviously I'm not a fan.
I'll tell you the truth. We had a rivalry where we were trying to get to their level because they were miles ahead.
Premier League winning the league,
Yeah, they were miles ahead of us. So we had that rivalry for about 6 or 7
What's
years.
the situation now, though? You
And
two.
now,
I'll tell you
the
straight
reality
up.
is we've
I will
flown
tell
past
you
them.
straight
We
up.
don't care about Arsenal. That's the truth.
No, but
That's-
so
I just hate them
why
because
why
I
do you
believe
hate?
they
So
are.
why are you hating on
Are we
Tottenham?
bringing? Do you
So
want to
why do
get
you
hate
hate
Tottenham?
Tottenham? Why do
I'll put
Chelsea
you
fans
to the
hate
seat
I'm
as
cool
well?
with Tottenham. I'm alright with Tottenham.
Don't lie. This is rubbish.
I'm alright with
Never
Tottenham.
Chelsea.
he's
fans-
alright with Tottenham.
Again, the reason why I don't mind Tottenham is because I feel like these two are not really our level.
Chris loves Tottenham, everybody. Chris loves Tottenham. And if he tells you otherwise, it's fucking bullshit. Shall I tell you why?
Right,
Wait. Can I just finish something? You love Tottenham. That's what I would like to say. And secondly,
I love Tottenham too.
Secondly, I would like to say my opinion on Chelsea, because you wankers didn't even ask me. I actually don't mind Chelsea. The truth is,
I hate Chelsea.
I don't mind Chelsea. I hate Chelsea because of Chris. But Chris is the reason I hate Chelsea. Without Chris and his brothers, I would say I ain't got a problem with Chelsea. I don't feel that.
No.
I'm
the opposite.
That's fair.
I don't feel it. But with
that's
you,
fair, and I'll tell you why it's fair.
I feel it so much with
Yeah, but
you.
I'll tell you why it's
when
fair
you're
that you feel
talking,
that
I
way.
want to kill you.
I'm the opposite.
You're worse
I'm
than
the
any
opposite.
Tottenham
I don't
fan.
mind Chris. I hate Chelsea. I hate the.
I'm not.
See, I don't have that.
You know,
thing
Spurs
with
fans.
With
Wait,
you lot, don't
real
forget.
real talk now, right? Real talk. I actually believe, and I'm not just making this up. I actually believe right now, the past 3-4 years, Spurs fans have got a much bigger hate towards Chelsea and Arsenal.
I've
I'm
had this
telling
argument
you.
with these guys.
I'm telling
I've
you.
had this argument with these guys.
I'm telling
they
you.
don't believe me.
I
said
swear
that.
to
You know
God.
what?
said
Chris
that.
said this to us.
The
as
match,
well.
the
He
match
said-
I
day,
agree.
match day.
They
Spurs
wanna
Arsenal's
kill each
bigger.
other, man.
Match day, Spurs Arsenal's bigger. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
North London
of
derby,
course.
but the hate, the anger, the war,
that's what I've been
the
saying.
way we feel.
So
I think Spurs Chelsea
On record.
is like it is that game you saw.
On record.
The battle at the bridge,
You-
they called it.
Yeah, the Battle of
Wait.
the Bridge.
You don't see that with Spurs Arsenal no
Not
more.
anymore. Not anymore.
You don't
That
see
used
that
to be.
when we
you
play
don't
them.
see that much
It's
anymore.
animosity, man. I don't even know
United.
how it's got that
That's
bad. But
United Arsenal.
But yeah, let me go back to the
Feels
point
Back
about
in the day
why
was-
I agree.
that was a big
why
game,
I
man.
understand.
Arsenal, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man U.
Let me go back to why I understand why you feel like that. Like you don't really care, not care. You don't really mind Chelsea, because we were beneath you. So for us, we hated you because we wanted to be better than you and get that. So I've always hated Arsenal. I used to try and argue with Arsenal fans, knowing that I'm losing my argument, but I'd have to try and move the goalpost.
Is that where your complex comes from now?
There's no complex. I love it. For me now, I love it. First, only club in London to win the Champions League. Just forget Chelsea. Let's
Buy
move.
the
We'll move.
Champions
Yeah, we'll move on. Anyway, listen. So we're going back to
Where were we?
worldwide support. So Arsenal took that one. So it was 2-1 Arsenal. Then we went to total Premier League seasons. You've both been in it since it started, so no one. The stadium size, Tottenham win that one. So it's 2-2. Recent Premier League.
For the because of the
Doesn't
last
matter,
6
it
months,
doesn't matter.
they've got
Doesn't matter if it got
okay.
confirmed yesterday. They've got a bigger stadium, and that's
They got 2,000. Is it
We
2,000?
moved into the stadium in
I'm asking
April.
2,000 seats?
April last year.
Right.
2,000 more seats.
2,500. Yeah.
15 years later, 600
as
million later.
Next one. Okay, now
It's
next
current,
point.
isn't it?
Next point we're going to move on to was the recent Premier League seasons. Their finishes on average. Spurs just about lose out to Arsenal.
It's
there.
got to be a draw, man.
Next.
I can't give it.
Next.
I
You-
can't
when
give
you
it-
round it up.
but I'm going for the facts.
Come on,
Chris,
go
I'm
for the
giving,
facts.
I'm giving it to Arsenal. That's 3-2 Arsenal.
The next one's a good one.
Oh wait, I was wrong. Sorry.
Arsenal win. Woo!
Recent silverware, Arsenal win.
Told you need a calculator.
Yeah, he was right. And then number of internationals, Tottenham win, and the last one, no one wins.
So-
But I
Silver,
disagree. How can you do a
I'm
draw
giving
for
it
the
to
last
Stoke.
one when we've only spent 96
But we
million?
don't know the actual.
No,
category.
do you know
What
what?
they've given-
I'll be doing you a favour and I'll say transfer spend. Let's just scrap that.
And you know what?
Because it
No,
doesn't-
no,
it's
no.
not
What I've
even a
basically
real
done, I've
category.
scrapped it.
1 minute, 1 minute.
I've scrapped
1
it.
minute. We've spent 96 million and finished. We've spent less than you over the past 5 years and finished above you for the past
That's
5
doing
years.
better business.
How? But 1 minute.
We don't know what's the right
but-
way to answer this. Is what I mean.
But the fact is, we've spent less and finished above you. How can we not win that category?
So who's the bigger club? Transfer spend. My brain says to me, the bigger clubs will spend the bigger money.
And finish
that-
higher.
I'm asking.
But this
and
is
finish
my
higher,
thing,
though.
I mean,
I'm asking.
I
Is
mean,
that-
that's
is
what I
that-
said. I don't know how to interpret it, and
Exactly.
that's why I think we should just.
That's
kind of,
why I think we
Yeah,
should
I'm
just
happy to do
leave
that.
that out.
Yeah, but the topics where Spurs are winning, we're writing them off.
Why? No, but why have you
The
won
ones
that
where
one?
Spurs come in,
guy's
let's
a
write that
joker.
off. We can
No,
win
wait,
that one.
Tottenham.
Write that
But
off.
why have Spurs
Come on,
won
the
that one?
Spurs.
Only a
Yeah,
Chelsea
you
fan would
lot
do that.
finished.
Only a
Well,
Chelsea
listen,
fan would do
listen,
that.
I would love it if you won this argument.
Listen,
I mean, I couldn't see you.
Argue
winning
this,
argument
argue this,
personally,
argue
but-
this.
Can't argue.
Okay, just
boys.
argue this
Like,
then.
it's
Argue
not-
this with
it's
me.
not argument.
Arsenal fan, argue this with me. We've spent less and finished above you.
The topic is transfer spend. I don't give a shit about what you're
and
saying.
we've spent that's the problem.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the problem. You don't give a shit.
Transfer
We've spent
spend
less and
but it
finished
says
above you.
transfer spend 5 years. Well, look, in 5 years, have we spent more than Tottenham?
Yes. You spent 443 million.
We spent 443 million in the last 5 years, and you spent 322
No, no,
million.
no. Net spend, you spent 250 million. We spent 96.
That's
You've
net
spent
spend.
almost
That's
free.
after your sales
you
as
sp-
well.
you
No,
sp-
no, I didn't mention
Right.
the sales though. I'm just
That's
saying.
important
net
because
spend.
they're going to be
That's
arguing
important 'cause you
until,
got-
until tomorrow. We'll stay here all night. Don't worry about that. If there's any fights, I'll let you guys know. But just want to say thank you guys for watching. And on our research, my research, I'm gonna give it to Arsenal.
Don't listen to
4-3.
these Chelsea fans. They hate
Come
us
on,
more than
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
EIE.
Come on, the Spurs. You know.
Hello, mate.
I gotta give it to Arsenal.
Thank you, gentlemen. It was
And that just about brings us to the end of another episode of the People's Pundit podcast. If you've enjoyed yourself as much as I have, don't panic. Subscribe and you'll never have to miss another episode again. Like and share, or if you're feeling extra generous, leave me a 5-star review. And if you have something to say, don't be shy, just get in contact via Instagram or Facebook at the People's Pundit. And I look forward to putting you in your place. See you on the next one, guys. Come on the Chelsea.